Well, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday, hump day. You know what that means? Because I don't. It's the middle of the week. That's all it means to me. Yeah, Jeep girl. Thank you so much for the 9.99 super chat. You're the best. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And her message is, see if my chat's working. You know you want to. She says we're going to have a baby weasel. And that is true. We have a boy weasel due September 2023. Woohoo! And I'm sure he's going to be everything that's coming to me. The second child, from my understanding, is the one that all of your fears, come to light right in front of your face. But you know what? In the infant stage, that's the best time. They don't talk back. They just, they cry. They have their basic needs that they need met, you know? And I'm going to enjoy that as long as I can because I know. I know what's coming, especially from the pipes of Mr. Eve. All right. I'm just going to say that. Anyway, glad y'all are here, guys. We're going to talk about a few things that I want to address, not only for YouTube, but my audience and other things. I want to be able to be transparent with you guys about how I cover missing children's cases. A lot of people who know me know that I'm very passionate about missing children's cases specifically, but I do cover lots of different things. And one of the biggest, I guess, topics, or one of the more harsh things to cover, is missing children's cases, because everybody has this opinion on how you should feel about things, what you should say, what you shouldn't say, etc. And I respectfully disagree with that. I feel like everybody has the right to their opinions within reason. And of course, within reason is subjective to some, right? But not for me. So when it comes to missing children's cases, feelings come last, facts come first, because the missing child deserves truth, honesty, and transparency when covering the information related to the case. It's really not hard. It's not a hard concept for me anyway. Being biased is detrimental, you know, and and there's also things that I've failed on. For instance, I have failed at being more candid at times. I should be more candid, right? Um, totally on me. But sometimes tempers and feelings, they can overcome you, just like anybody else. So, having said that, I want to go over something that happened recently that I brought upon myself. I'm not here to tell anyone how to feel about this. I'm not here to tell anyone what to think, how to feel, all that stuff. I just want to be able to explain where I'm coming from, especially those who really don't watch me or care to watch me and go ahead and do the confirmation bias thing, that what they're told is what is going on, and that smaller creators' opinions don't matter versus successful, bigger channels. I've never cared about that. I appreciate good content, consistent content, which is what I don't have right now, but I'm working on it. Um, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work and it takes time, and it's not something that I expect to happen overnight. And I don't want to do it under false pretenses where drama is what captures you in, and false um, leading. I'm such a great person. I do all of these great things. You should therefore support me blindly. And anyone that has an issue or problem with me, go unsubscribe. I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those at all. I feel like you should be able to completely disagree with a live of mine and be just as fine agreeing with everything the next one. This is a topic by topic YouTube channel. There's going to be differences of opinion. I respect other people's opinions. I do expect that on this channel. But I do understand tempers will flare. What I will not tolerate, though, and I've always said this, I've always stuck by this, I will not heed just because there are other creators who are more successful, like I said, who think that they have it all figured out. Even if they have more information than I could ever have, or if they're working on an actual case, that does not mean that it invalidates how I feel, what I know, what I have, and what I've researched. I'm a person, I'm a human being. I've gone to school, I have a bachelor's degree. I'm not an idiot. A lot of people confuse me with someone who is a drama channel who just makes a lot of money on drama about missing children. I am not one of those. I want you to understand something. I'm working with people who are doing case studies, professors from universities who are trying to get case studies out there, updated ones, on statistics. These statistics are coming from law enforcement agencies. They're coming from a lot of different sources that are credible. So if you think that this channel is just some bum channel that doesn't do their due diligence or their work, you've got the wrong one. I am not here to discuss just how I feel about a case, but I'm also not here to solve it either. What I am doing is spreading the awareness and information that we know to be true, right? Because people are so easily swayed on these creators who say, what I know is the end all be all. And if you're going to pigeonhole yourself, you go do that. Go do that over there. But I'm not going to do that here. And that's why I have a niche following that has stuck by me, I believe, for a very long time. So off of the rambling, let me get to the chat because I need to say hi to some folks. And I don't know why my chat's not working. Hold on just a second. Let me see if I can figure it out. Try one more again. Is it popping up? Shoot. I'm sorry, guys. It's not working today. I've had issues today. But I'm going to say hi to everybody anyway. What do I have here? Mr. Eve. Okay, the sock thing. We have a weasel in here that obviously does not think that socks are an important part of wearing sneakers. I love you, Jeep, but you're wrong. I'm just kidding. I strongly disagree with that, but you do you, boo-boo. We love you anyway. Gold Bond is a beautiful product if you ever need it. I doubt you do because I know how OCD and clean you are. So I just can't do it for myself. Maybe it's me, but I got to have socks on with my shoes. I cannot just stick my foot in tennis shoes. It's a crime. It's a true crime. But anyway, so thank you guys for being here. Let's get into it, all right? Socks rule, yes. Hey, Julia, my shed lines. Brooke, One Life to Live. Hello, hello. Lauren, thank you so much for your congratulations on me having a little weasel due September 2023. I cannot wait. I'm very excited. Mr. Eve is very excited, and little Eve is too. Hey, Dope. I know that you're busy, so thank you for being here. Hello, Lee Pepper. Brooklyn, my Gemini. Nico Japcat, thank you for being here. And anyone that I miss, whistle while you lurk. And I think I covered it. So if I missed you, or if you're coming to watch the replay, thank you for being here. So let's get into the tea, huh? Right? Well, what had happened was I had said something that I saw that was alarming about Summer Wells and Michael Vaughn's case. I have unsubscribed, and I have also, this was a long time ago when things were popping off with the lab, our differences of opinion. And it really wasn't a big issue for me. I mean, I think that I come off pretty strong with my opinions, especially through text message. And it's not my intention whatsoever, I promise. But I think that it kind of comes off that way to others. So I feel like I have a lot of information and data that the weasels, specifically in Michael Vaughn's case, it's hard to kind of express what we know and what the dots that we have connected, because it is so unnecessarily complex because of the lack of information that we're getting from all angles, right? Lack of timeline. And it's really similar to Summer Wells. It's not that different. It really isn't. It really is not. You can set the parents of Michael Vaughn beside the parents of Summer Wells, right? And obviously, you know from the get-go that there are differences, if you will. Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's the similarities that I only care about and have always cared about, which is you have a missing child. The police interactions and the details that come out of the case are few, far in between, and ever changing. Timelines are shit. And that is something that, as a taxpayer who pays for these services like the FBI, the Idaho State Police, all of these government agencies, and even your local communities who are paying taxes to help find your missing child, and that includes Tennessee, TBI, you have a right to wonder about how those resources, who not only are just for these big cases like Summer Wells, Oakley, Carlson, all of them, Lena, but that's not going to be recovered. Those things are gone once they're used, and every child needs to have those resources available to them. So if there's something questionable, there's something not going on, and you're not cooperating with law enforcement, why would you be okay with that being wasted and just blindly believe that this is acceptable behavior? I'm seeing it from a lot of different angles. My feelings on befriending parents of missing children it's always been the same. I don't ever want to be friends, nor should anyone be besties just because they want to support the family of missing children. There's a difference between crossing that line and forgetting the child because you're so hung up on the fact that you're involved in the parents and being so close to a tragedy going on in their lives. That's what I'm worried about. You cannot be friends with someone who is not cleared, in my opinion. I mean, you can be friends with whoever you damn well please. But what I'm getting at is, if you have a channel, you have a moral and social responsibility to know when to put that friend card down and listen. for the child, because that's who you really should be there for. If you want to go behind the scenes or go out and tiptoe through the tulips, go do that. Go do that. That's amazing. If you want to support them while they're on your live, I think that's great. I think that's great. But if you're going to monetize, if you're going to be an actual person through a nonprofit who is close at one time to a family member, let's just say Chris Madonna from the Cold Case Foundation, who not only puts this information out there, but wants to work or has worked on an active investigation, an active one, after the fact of saying and putting them out there while making money off of this, while making money off of a child's missing case, using the parent or parents as the interlude for your cash cow or whatever you want to call it, your donations. That to me is the real exploitation factor. You can't have it both ways. I mean, I guess you can. Chris Madonna is obviously doing that. He's having his cake and he's eating it too, because obviously he has earned it, right? He has earned it. That's up for debate. I support the interview room. I support what Chris Madonna has done and the information that has been put out there for people to learn from. That's great. That's great. But don't good cop, bad cop. Don't good cop, bad cop when we all know what investigators are truly for. What are investigators truly for, or should be for? The missing person or child that they're trying to help. But you can't dabble and lie to your audience without being biased on both sides of the spectrum, meaning the investigative process and the family, and making money off of their pain and their information that you were getting from them from doing so. That is horrible. We know that that's what law enforcement does in investigations. We're not all stupid. Some might be. But I am not unaware of what you're doing, Chris Madonna. And the lab is obviously going to support his extra piece of income, no matter how you want to spin it. That it's the facts. When you are besties with a creator who has a lot of followings, you're going to get a lot of followings. You're going to follow in the footsteps, if you will, of the benefits of it. It's not hard rocket science. It's not. But when you want to talk about missing children's cases and then want to act upon them, swaying the public opinion with the information, which, let me be clear, it's not Chris Madonna or the lab or Josh from the lab's responsibility to make you think and how to think and what to think. But it's not, what's the word? It's very obvious that it is important. The narrative has to stay in a certain direction to keep things going. We're not stupid. I'm not stupid. So let me tell you what happened. Let me show you what I'm talking about when trying to explain exposing the heroes in missing children's cases, specifically on YouTube. All right. Chris Madonna went in and interviewed the parents of Michael Vaughn and Summer Wells, more so the mother, right? Because I think that men automatically are like, what are you trying to pull here? You don't just come in all willy-nilly for funsies. You're trying to figure something out. But women are more relaxed in that area, especially when you are, groomed to feel safe about expressing yourself about the case. This was before being involved with the police in any way. To our knowledge, we really don't know, but we do know that when that interview was done, the Cold Case Foundation was in the works. right? From my understanding, I could be wrong. Correct me if I am, but it's to me, it's like, well, it doesn't look good when you're first off making money off of this before going into the actual investigative side of it, and then making your audience feel or try to get the information from that point of view only, or at least pushing it in the way that the money comes. We are not dumb. So before I pull that up, I'm going to check with chat because I haven't looked in a minute. Sorry about that. Nico says, Chic Girl, I agree. Money becomes the priority and not the victims. I mean, we've heard it so many times in the Summer Wells case. Everybody that actually made money would blame other people for making money. This is not what this is. I want to make that clear. This is not the channel that's doing that. I don't make a dime. I really don't. I'm way over budget versus anything that comes through here, which is rare. And again, thank you, Jeet Girl, for your super chat. I really appreciate that. That's like, I get one every 3 months. So if you think that I'm making money off of any of this, you got it wrong. I'm losing a lot of money, and I don't care. I don't care if I made $1 million or zero. It really doesn't matter. Either way, the truth is coming out on this channel. So if you want to hear and not just hear things that I will try to give you in the best way possible that is factual and let you know when it isn't and it's speculative. If you want to have that ability to free think, please stay. Please stay. But if you want to sheep, then elsewhere is better. It's not here. I just wanted to make that clear. Some creators are treating Brandy Neal like some creators treat Candace Wells and Dawn Wells. Well, it's fair game to me. You know? I hear over and over and over from the lab, people from the lab. Trev Lee even got on my ass about something, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. No receipts to back up. And guess what, Trev Lee, if you're listening, I will still support you. And I'll even still support other creators that I disagree with, to the point where the disrespect then will completely demolish that. I'm a very giving person on this YouTube platform. Not that it's going to make or break anybody's bank or anything, but I will not support disrespect and lies. I will not do it. I don't care if you are a law enforcement officer, retired, who is in a nonprofit. I got a nonprofit. I search for missing children. I search for missing people. I have helped find missing people. I have helped with cases and tips. I'm not looking for a pat on the back, but kudos to you for your success, right? Kudos to that. But you're getting paid. You're getting paid a lot. Mm-hmm. And your reputation has not preceded you yet, because there are things in your past that we all know of that we all should be concerned about. And I'm going to tell you, one of them is the Michael Vaughn case. We all know that Sarah Wandra and Stacy Wandra, and two others, Brandon Shurtleff, Adrienne Lucene, have been named as suspects of either direct knowledge or involvement in Michael Vaughn's abduction and or death. And they dug up an entire backyard on a tip that came from, allegedly, Stacy, from the leaked probable cause affidavit in November. We don't know anything about if that's the entirety of it. But here's the thing. Nothing was found. We don't know about the evidence, and I'm not even going to get into that. Guess what I did not just tell you about? My opinions on the fucking parents. I don't care. I sincerely don't care. Fuck your feelings. That is okay to say. Maybe it's not professional as Chris McDonough. Language. It's all about your character. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Because what it really is about is the passion for missing children are still not found yet. That's my passion. And I'll do it as I damn well please. That doesn't make you any more of a better human being. In fact, you could completely do a nonprofit and completely dedicate your time off of a social media platform that exploits and monetizes. If you want to do both, you're obviously doing a great job on the forefront on social media, but I highly doubt we have solved these 2 missing children's cases, have we? No. We actually dug up an entire backyard on Michael Vaughn's case. We have sent the family members of Summer Wells into a spiral of bullshit and lies and arguments. You know, I have never seen the father of a missing child go onto a panel who allegedly hates the guy, Josh from the lab, and somehow manages to keep coming back and then have a civil conversation. You want to know what that sounds like to me? From a desperate felon who just got out of jail for a year when YouTubers called the cops on him driving drunk. That's what it sounds like to me. A bunch of shit. Sounds like money was passed right along that little Venmo machine or app. That's what it sounds like. Because not anybody would want to habitually be bashed like, as Don Wells has, and rightfully so or whatever. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Sounds like money, money, money is what makes this world go round, and there's still children we have not found, and there's no justice for. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Now, if y'all want to, the people that were bashing the shit out of me, which I'm cool with, I mean, it really does not make me feel anything but more compassionate for these babies, because I know where my heart lies, and it isn't with money. It isn't. You go do you. But I will not let you sit here and tell the people that follow you that I am just a hateful bitch who doesn't care about anything but exploiting children or the parents of missing children for my own sick game. That is actually the exact thing you're doing under the premise of, look at all the good things that I'm going to do once they break down and trust me. Once they trust me, I get them on my panel, and then they're going to nail them. And then say, kids first. Made my money, though. Thanks for that. But you're not doing anything. Or you would have already had Summer found and or more good things to come of it. There has not been a damn bit of good except for exposure and lining your pockets. It's pathetic. And I'll stand by that. I don't care how big you are. I don't care what you've done, what you're going to do. Exploitation is exploitation. Period. So I wanted to address this because my comment was pinned. And I did get a lot of flack. And I think that I have the right to, what's the word? Tell the truth. Tell the truth of what really is going on here. Especially with the Summer Wells case now being mingled in with everybody who watched the Summer Wells case into Michael's case, okay? I saw Don Wells and Brandy. Brandy was reaching out to Don, pleading, please work with the Cold Case Foundation. Please work with the Cold Case Foundation. Don, your child's missing. And here's the irony, y'all, about it. The irony is that at the beginning of Michael Vaughn's case, if you were to offer a PI to Brandy, or free searches, or free anything, more exposure on any platform, any news station, we have the best of the best. We're working with Fruitland. We're working with the state police and the FBI. We don't need anybody else. We don't need anything else. We don't need anything else. And Dawn did that. Dawn said that, was like, look, do you blame Dawn for not wanting to work with somebody that literally aired out and sabotaged and exploited any and everything he said? Right or wrong, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. I'm saying, you really want Dawn to work with you for what? Why do you need Dawn? Why do you need Brandy? Just go ask the police. Or are they not sold, or wasn't sold on the fact that they wanted your help? Did we find Michael Vaughn by excavating that backyard? And then also searching Brandon Shirtliff's yard? No, we might got some evidence. That's something, but we don't know nothing. Because he can't talk about it. But he could talk about it before he went in. Isn't that not a conflict of interest? And then you have your lab rat to tell things that you can't anymore. I don't know. If I were somebody on the defense stand, I'd be like, this sounds like a gosh darn setup. No one's going to believe me. I'm not going to get a fair trial in this state. Look what happened. A YouTube creator, law enforcement officer who's working on an active investigation, double whammed me. Right or wrong, I don't care. If it doesn't matter about it. It's about the principle of the fact that this isn't right. This is not okay. It's just not right. If you find Michael, great. If you find Summer, great. If you find missing persons and missing children, great. I just don't see how this is the way. I don't see how it's working. So I saw Brandy, reach out to Dawn, heartfelt Dawn. And I noticed, oh, wait, you know what? I remember seeing screenshots collected over time about how Brandy felt about Dawn and Candace. There was a lot more than I've ever going to post here, but one thing that I can tell you is she watched intently. Brandy Neal watched Dawn and Candace and the case intently while her own son was missing. It's right here. And other people will agree. And I want to know, how does Brandy feel, or how does people feel about Brandy pleading out to Dawn Wells about the Cold Case Foundation to help? I mean, she's wanting to know who's going to crack first, aka who's going to confess. And this was when that DV incident happened where the cops were called because allegedly Dawn had abused Candace, right? I get it. We're all curious about the things that happen. I'm not saying that this is wrong. What I'm saying is that if you're going to say, work with the Cold Case Foundation, you might want to let them know how you actually feel, because you're just as misleading as the people that you want to help them, who quote unquote helped on your kid's case. Brandy says, I listened to Dawn and Candace's first press video this morning. What in the actual fuck is wrong with these parents? Hey, girl, same. Agree. 100. Agree. I can't even call them parents or humans. They are fucking demons straight from the depths of hell. Yeah. So when did it become well, I think they're guilty and I think they're demons. How do I nail them? Oh, by getting the Cold Case Foundation involved. Because Chris Madonna, the lab who makes money off of this case, knows damn well that if they are in fact complicit or guilty of knowledge or direct involvement in Summer Wells's case, he's not gonna do it. And it also paints Brandy in a beautiful light of pleading when she couldn't do that for the first year and a half, or excuse me, a first year. It was pulling teeth to get her PR rep to do anything unless it was under their strict guidelines, just like Dawn and Candace and Tim Mullen. Same thing. Same exact situation. Just because two parents who are neglectful, I will not dispute Summer Wells's parents, Dawn and Candace, failed their children. Bare minimum. Regardless of how I feel about their being complicit or not. When I look over to the other side with Michael's case and Oakley Carlson's case, and all of these other cases where missing children have parents who have had drug convictions or have laughed about the fact that they have been in criminal situations, I don't care what you look like. Sometimes it's even more obvious. Dawn and Candace couldn't hide it, and they didn't want to hide their selves. They know who they are. They can't hide it. It's Tennessee. It's the way they're raised. You go to Idaho, it is a smoke and mirrors game. Good old boy, got your back if you've got mine. I won't tell if you don't. Smoke and mirrors. Two different areas, two different types. Same basic principle. Missing child. No timeline. Lies about the timelines. I could care less if you had all your teeth or zero teeth. As long as you're lying out of them, you're suspect to me, and people need to question you because your children matter more than your feelings and people's feelings about you. And it will always be that way on this channel. So that caused a lot of grief, right? In the YouTube streets about me saying, I feel Brandy Neal is being used to convince Dawn Wells through Chris Madonna to get help with the Cold Case Foundation. Now, I didn't say Josh did that. I didn't say Chris Madonna did it either. What I said was I feel Brandy Neal is being used to convince Dawn. And that's exactly the point, isn't it? But I said it's only fair to know how Brandy feels. Because without Brandy, and you can't tell me that you did not know Brandy was going to hop on and talk to you. I know how you work, bro, the lab. I know how you work. There was a conversation. Even if it was from Brandy, it doesn't even matter. She's a big girl. She can do whatever she wants to. You allowed it on your platform. We all know you're pro McDonough. It's fine. It's not a big deal. But at least let Dawn know what he's getting into and how Brandy really feels about it. And don't get mad at me and tell me that I'm trying to slander her or whatever. Or push your narrative that these parents are the exact opposite of each other. Sir, they have missing children and they haven't been cleared. No matter what you want to say, they have not. They have not been cleared. No one has been cleared. Everyone is on the table. No charges have been filed. Your homeboy Chris went and did a job, and now he's not working on it anymore, and there's no charges, no body, no nothing. Yet. I will say yet. But be real. And don't shit on my parade that I have an opinion on it. And I know how Josh works. Chris does too. They both go, I'm not stopping you. I haven't said those things. What makes you, that gaslighting bullshit. But they don't mind setting the stage up for the minions of the channels to come out and, try to wreck you. They tried to wreck you on these posts or these comments or these lives. It's not going to work. I just like to call it for what it is, flat on the table. If you want to play the meek, wounded deer thing, you can go do that. But I'm going to call it out and be like, get some balls, get some kahunas and fight for yourself and say what you want to say. Because that's when the truth comes out. That's when the truth comes out. So let me go back to the lab, okay? So he's like, I want to be very clear about an issue I've seen arise, the narrative that I use Brandy. I never said that. Mother of missing 5-year-old Michael Vaughn to confront Dawn Wells on my show is simply not true. Cool. Fact of the matter is Dawn Wells wasn't invited by me on panel, but you allowed him to, and you always will. Unless you're just not in the mood that night. He'll always come back, and you always invite him back. He asked for a link. Cool. Brandy Neal, after listening to Dawn, to come onto the show. Brandy Neal, after listening to Dawn Wells, asked to speak with him. She's been wanting to speak with Candace and Dawn for a year. I wish that that's what she said on a recording. I wish that I could just reach out to her and be like, why? Putting on a show for her friends in the chat, in her little Facebook group. But she obviously thinks they're demons, so there's your answer. Anyway, I stand by Brandy Neal and her family. Cool beans, awesome. It's not like we don't know. We obviously know that. I do not support the actions of the Wells, and I do not support the actions of silent Tyler Vaughn and outrageous Brandy Neal. I'm going to tell you something that you might want to know about what has happened through the people surrounding Brandy by her authority, what she is trying to do to Sarah Wandra, who has no charges against her. I'll show you in a minute. I do not support the actions of the Wells. If you think that these cases are remotely similar, yes, I do. When it comes to cooperating, transparency, honesty, we have nothing to discuss. Yes, we do. Well, you don't, because you said that you would not like to get on my panel or me on yours to confront these issues that you seem to have had. Which that's fine. You have your right. The offer is still on the table, which I know that you said no thanks, Josh, and that's fine. You didn't have to add that extra bullshit comment, but whatever. I said, Brandy is a grown woman who makes her own decisions either way. However, how about you come to my panel or I come on yours and we could discuss how similar and or different these two missing child cases are. Hey, this is a great opportunity to get more exposure about information. And maybe, just maybe, Brandy and Dawn can both come up and clarify some of the things we discuss. It's great. Okay. And he goes, I'll pass. Thank you for the invite. Cool beans. I'll get to Trev time in a minute. And I said, at the lab didn't surprise me one bit because I knew he wasn't going to. The offer still stands. And again, he goes, no thanks. Loud and clear. But you know me, sassy ass Eve, I was like, I saw your response the first time. I'm being polite for some reason, which I don't know why. Won't happen again. Excuse me. Sorry. So going back up, Trev time, which we all know who Trev is. I appreciate Trev. I have no issues with Trev. Me and him were on a live with JLR just a month ago. So I don't know what panties are in the wad for, but, I think it's because it's blind faith, Brandy Neal, all the way. You seem to fail the stark differences in the parents. Also, Brandy has been cleared. False. That is false. I don't care whether she's cleared or not at this point, because we're not going to know. But she isn't. Neither is Tyler. That is just false information, and it pisses me off that just because they said, Fruitland PD said that they were not a focus of the investigation at this point, means that they were. And it took over a year for them to finally say they're not a focus. But because they're not Don and Candace Wells, they get a freebie pass. They're different. They just are. They just are. Forget the fact that Tyler has cocaine and marijuana and paraphernalia charges over the years. Forget the fact that there's a missing child and nobody was watching him. Forget the fact that the sister of Michael Vaughn did not see that boy when she got home from her practice from high school. But nobody cares. But unless it's about Summer Wells' case to slander the shit out of Dawn and Candace, which I don't care how you feel about it. I don't care how I feel about it. It's wrong. It's wrong. It is hypocritical. And if you give money to that shit, wow, you're part of the problem. So I tell Trev, Brandy has not been cleared, nor has Tyler. I'm not even concerned about that. And I'm not. I really am not. What I'm concerned about is blind bias without understanding or listening to what has been alarmingly said and done by both sets of parents. And I want to also say what has been alarmingly done and coached and groomed by Chris McDonough himself. I said, bias has no place on my table, period. 2 failed polygraphs by Tyler Vaughn. Chris McDonough telling Brandy how to dodge the failed polygraph question so that the family doesn't look quote-unquote dirty. Brandy trying to slander Sarah Wandra by getting creators, small creators like the side creators of Critters Doing Harm on the Farm, to go interview her abusive ex-husband from Texas who kicked her in the ribs and punched her. If you don't think that I have the receipts on that, you're wrong. I do. Now, this guy didn't go on panel because he didn't want his family to be exposed, and he didn't want to cause any chaos. But he does think that Sarah Wanda is batshit crazy. Honey, I agree. I agree. But that doesn't mean that you can beat the shit out of her and then try to slander her because Brandy Neal is asking for it. Disgusting. You don't do that. You're going to get somebody hurt or killed. If you want justice and you think that something happened and they know about it, the last thing you're going to do is ruffle some feathers of people that you have no business reaching out to. Because nobody else can. You have no business. I know it's your missing child's case, and yes, we're supposed to do everything we can to get justice. Then you cannot sit there and turn around and make exceptions to the rules just because you're Brandy Neal from Fruitland, Idaho. That does not work that way. When you tell everybody else to follow the rules with law enforcement, you got to do the same. That is your legal responsibility, your social responsibility. Period. So when you don't care about following the rules, why would anybody that's trying to help find your son care about following the rules? It's a two-way street. You still have to be civil. You don't get to slander and harass and then scream slander, harassment, when you can't tell the truth about things that happened and you weren't there. You weren't there. Or were you? I said, could you ask Chris McDonough if parents are officially cleared by law enforcement since he worked with them during the excavation of the Wander home? If they are cleared, what a relief to hear it, and I swear to God it would be. Not a focus of our investigation does not suffice as cleared. It does not mean the same thing. It means that we're not looking or talking about it right now. We have done what we can at this point. Now we have to move on to something else. And that doesn't mean that it's not connected back to the family or somebody around the family or somebody that knows the family that knows the family that knows who did it to Michael. We don't know. Mall cops. She's an idiot. I know. And then I have people that literally supported me with everything that I felt about Michael Vaughn's case and Summer's case, that calls me a hyena, a harsh reality, scrofulous pet hyena. When I have the screenshots, Miss Sixth Sense Media, that you were agreeing with everything that I said months ago. I said we just swing where the informational high wind blows, don't we? Which is pretty much 90% of the people that follow Chris and Lab. They're just loyal, right? No matter what. Anonymous true crime, which I do not appreciate. A sick joke, right? I said the two failed polys and how to dodge them, not a joke. No, it's not. It's not a joke. So Trev Time then pipes in and says, well, I'm glad you decided what suffices in an investigation. Oh, spare me your high horse bullshit. And I see you're another individual with an axe to grind with Chris. I could give a shit. I got an axe to grind when you're making money by being involved in an investigation and swaying the public opinion of non-cleared parents. I think everybody's axe should be grinded on that. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Michael's case, likely abduction. Summer's case, no sign of abduction. Where's the sign of abduction in Michael's case? You want to know why they said that? JD Huff specifically states, we just can't find him. That is why. We have searched so much that that's what increases the abduction. Now, did he say recently that he was abducted? He did. He did. But who? There's no charges. Who did it? Who did it? Okay, so no. He's still likely abducted. And that's fine. It is what it is. Michael's case, parents cooperating and working with LE. So the two failed polys in the 8-hour grind fest on Tyler, who almost damn near flipped the table, that's cooperating. The police lie. Investigators will lie. The prosecuting attorney's office will write things for law enforcement to lie to you. That's a fact, Jack. Summer's case, parents not cooperating. These are, first of all, nothing that we can actually absolutely prove. It's just speculation on what was said. There are stark differences, whether you choose to see them or not. I know what the stark differences are. If Brandy and Tyler didn't have Bob's house to live in, where do you think they'd be with 4 children? Where do you think they would be? Okay, moving on. It's just false information that people that have confirmed their biased opinion on. When Brandy Neal and the lack of things from Tyler Vaughn and Bob Vaughn and the family have helped to literally dissect a community, dissect them, break up a marriage while they're getting married. So can the shit, y'all. I'm not here for it. I'm not. So we're going to wrap up with one thing. 2 things. It's a video that 2 videos that I made recently that I want everybody to hear and re-listen to. And also think about, when I pause the video, think about what was just said. And if you have a question, please put it in the chat or put it in the comments after the video, because it's important. Thoughts and prayers only get a child so far. Takes work. We're going back to the beginning, because obviously nothing else is working.
we're gonna do this. We're gonna get you guys in a more
Twitter weasels for monkey.
When did Michael Vaughn's family become aware of Stacey Wondra? Let's go back to June 2022 Twitter to find out. June 7th, tweet from Michael's caregiver who last saw him on July 26th, the day before he went missing.
Yeah. Fruitland PD finally reached out to me today. Apparently, someone who shared my photo of Monkey back on August 1st has raised suspicion. But alas, someone thinks I sent this photo directly to this person. Yo, it's called copy and paste, people. Last time I had heard from them was back in January.
Are you saying FPD has a suspect?
I'm saying I got a phone call because Tyler Vaughn's sister told the lead detective I sent the photo directly to Stacey Wondra.
Did she know that? Or did she assume that because it's a witch hunt for the babysitter at this point? Comment. Comment below or comment in the chat. I want to know your opinions on that.
For some reason this person is on the radar.
Here is the media manager Tim Mullen, Lana Westbrook using the caregiver's tweets against her. Fruitland PD asked caregiver to take down the tweet due to Stacey Wondra being a person of interest, which she asked Lana to do the same. Caregiver states she has never heard or had any contact with Stacey Wondra. A great question was asked that I'd like the answer to as well. How did Tyler's sister know whether caregiver sent a photo directly to Stacey or not? Because she didn't. She posted it publicly to spread awareness for Michael. How did
Find out.
do it again. That he failed.
late fall of become aware of Stacey and no one else?
Sorry, I got click happy. This post right here is the original post by the babysitter. This post right here, Brandy's bestie, Ray Sunshine, Jacqueline Matthews, shared it separately. Shared the photo that the babysitter took on her own. This is Stacey's post, which basically shared the same thing, but didn't have any context with it. And he explains, no, this is not me, because this guy's like, is that you? And he goes, no, this is a child that went missing in our neighborhood and has been gone for 5 days and no one can find him. He is only 5 years old. You'd be a damn fool to post that as a potential person of interest or being involved in some way. You'd be a damn fool to even touch it, because that's allegedly how this poor sap got under the radar in June of 2022 after his felony gun charge from the FBI agent Nemo who was investigating him, because that's what he does. He was also working on Michael Vaughn's case, but then dipped out right after that. Just wanted to let you know.
Else has heard of him before November 2022. Why was the caregiver the ultimate suspect to everyone in the family when the mother, Brandy Neal, cleared her multiple times? Recently, another detective at Fruitland PD told caregiver she wasn't and hasn't been a suspect since late fall of 2021.
But
Listen
after
up.
Tyler did the first one, Tyler damn near flipped the table over, apparently, and this is what I was told.
Tyler flipped the table?
He almost did. Because he was upset at the fact that he failed, because he was like, there's no way in hell I did nothing to my son. And then he had to actually physically hold Tyler to calm him down because he was so erratic. Like, do it again. Like, this is wrong. There's no way.
Right.
And even that one FBI agent that I wanted to punch in the face, told Tyler, they're like, we can see how those questions, and especially your state of mind, are misleading or misdirecting, or basically it was like misleading. So that's why he did another one.
Okay. And did he pass that second question?
Yes.
Or they rewrote it?
As far as I know, I don't know. I can't say for sure how that happened, but I do know that they said they will not be giving him another polygraph test. So
okay, did they come out and tell him though you passed the second one? Not that it means anything. I don't want you caught in the public's eye. Okay, don't answer that. Here's how you answer that question.
I don't, because I was waiting for him. So the first polygraph test, they came and picked him up and took him 45 minutes away. And we didn't leave our neighborhood. We couldn't even go anywhere. Like, what if Michael came home? And then they take him away from me, and he's gone for 8 hours.
Right.
Yeah. So the next.
They grilled him. They grilled him for 8 hours and then read his Miranda rights to him. For why?
Next one, this Doug Hart came in, and he was like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to get you guys in a more comfortable environment, or get Tyler in a more comfortable environment. You can't be in there, but if you want to be there to support him, that's fine. And then the detective sat there, Anita, she sat there with me the entire time. It was like about 2.5 hours.
Yep. Okay, so here's how I want you to answer that. As a friend. Okay? As a friend.
Okay.
So here's how I want you to answer that. As a friend. Okay, so here's how I want you to answer that. As a friend. Okay? When social media says, did you guys take a polygraph? You answer it by saying, we have cooperated 100% with this investigation.
Okay. Yep.
There's, the details in relationship to this investigation, like that kind of question, okay? We are searching for our son, and I'm sure the authorities will tell you what the truth is.
Right.
Okay, so what you do...
I don't know about that.
...is you catch the football, okay?
Okay.
And then you spike it in the end zone, okay?
Okay.
Because what you don't want people thinking is, oh, this family, oh, they're dirty. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, just say, we have cooperated 100% with the authorities. Okay? And you're more than welcome to ask the authorities, anything you would like. We do not want to compromise anything about bringing Michael. Okay? And the authorities have already said what they needed to say about us.
Which was damn near nothing. They're not going to sit there and admit you're on the radar if you're not cleared. They're going to make you think everything's kosher. We support everything. It's an active investigation. Anytime you specifically ask about clearing the parents, wish I could do that, but no can do. Everything's on the table. Oh, they're cleared. No. Stop lying to people. Stop it. I'm not going to go over the sister timelines. You guys can go watch these 2 videos right here. It's got a lot of good information and some questions that I think would be good to think about, because It's been a year and a half, almost 2 years, and they still can't be answered. And they're basic questions. Again, this was not to retaliate. This wasn't anything more than to clear the air of my intentions on this platform. I will not stop. If I disagree with you, too bad. You can get as many people as you want to try to combat what I say. That's fine. It's your right. But the truth is the truth. And if you're too unwilling with your ego to at least listen and discuss it on a panel or something, no thanks, no dice. It means your mind is made up and your money has been collected. That's the only thing that I can think of. And it's pretty damn obvious that that's what this is. And I don't support those kind of things. And I don't support people or channels that do that. You guys do what you want, but just know that that's where my heart is. I want you to know that that's where I always will be. I care about missing children. I've had blisters on my feet for looking for people. I have seen things I don't wish anyone to see. I have helped reunite people with each other. It's beautiful and also heartbreaking because no one is not everyone gets that. Let's just say that, and not everybody is an old person. There are sometimes infants. It's not an easy job, and Chris Medetta knows that. But I will not do it. I will not condone the exploitation of children by exploiting their parents. Cleared or not. It's disgusting. Thank you guys for being here. You know, as I say, drink your water, hug yourself, your babies, your fur babies, your grandbabies. Be true to yourself. Don't let anybody pummel you. It's about these babies. It really is. And it's about missing people and families who actually want justice. Love you guys. Be good. Have a wonderful week ahead. Bye.